Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Onsie Talk Show. Hashtag This Is Us. Today, I've got an amazing friend of mine for a while now, Sean. I've got Sean on set with us. Sean, please just do like a quick intro of yourself, your full name, what you do. Are you a photographer? Are you a designer? Are you a stylist? Are you a model?
Okay, so let me lay it down. Okay, so I'm Sean Levitt. I am a photographer. My niche is fitness photography.
Yep.
But I do actually own a media company, Juice Media. So my company does videography, photography, social media marketing, above the line marketing, you name it. In the marketing space, we do it. And then, I've obviously professioned in fitness photography. I've got about 11 to 12 covers under my name. And that's excluding smaller covers for like disc game and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And then, I've shot a few billboards. I've shot a gallery for myself in Melrose Arch. And pretty much that sums it up.
Yeah, I still owe you a visit for that one, actually.
Yeah,
I still owe you a visit. It's gonna happen. I promise. It's
You were
gonna
there
happen.
on the live on the day that we announced it, but you didn't come through.
Yeah. So I think my life is just a mess. And the other thing I was actually trying to do is I was trying to move to Branston actually.
Okay.
But some legalities is slowing me down for now. But it's definitely still in the book. It's part of my main priority for next year. Because this would have been happening there. Based on what I want. It's gonna be like a big space and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So, like you said, is like when it comes to the fitness stuff, like goodness, this. Yeah. Do I fit into your category?
Almost there. Almost.
We can get there someday.
Yeah, another like 2 weeks at gym and you'll be there.
Awesome. All right. So we're gonna be chatting about different challenges in regards to like photography itself, editing, and clients. Okay. So, but first of all, there's a question I ask everybody here. So, like, what's in your bag?
Yeah.
What's in your bag?
So, obviously, I have a few bags. So, standard, what you can find with me when I go on set and I do a shoot for, let's say, a private client wanting a fitness shoot inside the gym. Lighting, we'll start there. I use 380-200s for all of my shoots.
300.
80-200.
200. Oh, okay, cool.
This is going on. So I use 280-200s.
Yeah.
And then I have my C stand for my key light, where I generally do octa with a grid, like a 120 octa with a grid. And then I have two rim lights. The one rim light is just a normal rectangular softbox. And then my other one is actually a giant umbrella. It's about a 1.8 meter umbrella. Reason being is I like to light my background and let the spill light the subject because gyms are quite dark. And then in terms of my actual camera bag, I generally just take my camera with the 24-70 on set. I do love to shoot a 70-200, but at the beginning of my career, I sort of overshot with the 70-200 and I wanted some more versatility. So I wanted more versatility, so I switched over to 24-70. And like I don't do a lot of portraits, so 85mm I don't think is really necessary. And then I'll use a 50mm if I want to really shallow depth of field. And then I think just my Godox trigger.
Awesome. So like just quickly back to your light. So you have 380-200. So the two backlight and your key light, everything is 80-200, 200. Goodness. Oh, awesome.
So the reason why I like to shoot 80-200 is it is strong enough to use in studio if you want to shoot a cover, but it's also, the scope is super wide, so it can go low enough that when you're in the gym, you can shoot at like ISO 1000 and still get away with using all of your lights.
Oh, awesome. Because like I was also thinking of doing the same thing. I almost did it with the 80-300, but like, when I look at the finance, I was like, probably have to sell my kidney to be able to do that.
The lighting is expensive.
Like goodness, like we're not gonna talk about pricing of equipment right now. Like that's a whole another thing to talk about. But like, okay, cool. All right, so talking about equipment, so let's start with the challenges. All right, so talking about challenges of equipment. So now I'm just gonna think of another random one that pops in my head because I've had all kind of crazy one that happened. Like, so I think the other one that happened was I went on a shoot. And my battery wasn't charged, but the battery was in the light. So I don't know why I assumed the battery was charged. So now I got to the shoot. My client was ready for me. I was ready. pumping the flash, nothing is happening. I was just like, and now I had to wing it because I can't tell my client like, I'm sorry, the battery died. I was just like, I think I like the lights around here. I think let's just go with natural light. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, so well then.
Yeah, listen, I think that's the standard excuse when you forget a light. You're like, nah, today's going to be a 2-light setup. I want to be more creative.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, we are professional at winging shoots. That's you got to be able to do that, and you got to be able to provide for a client no matter what. So I would say the one that sticks out most to me is when there was a fitness model that came here from Australia, and she is in the fitness industry. Almost everyone in the world knows who she is, and I had an opportunity to shoot her in my studio. So here I am, like, and you know, as a photographer, you're comparing yourself to the best in the world because she shot with the best, the guys that you looked up to. And when it came time to shoot her, what had happened was that on my trigger, one of the tooth, I don't know what you call it. You know,
the one at the bottom.
Yeah, so the one went skew.
Oh boy.
At this stage, I had no idea that had happened. So when I started shooting, I think the flash only went off for every 1 in 5 photos. And now you're with like the most important shoot of my career, like more important than a cover. And I was like, you know, what the frick, like this chick, what is she going to expect?
This is actually happening right now.
Yeah, so I just had to shoot, I just had a burst mode and I shot as many photos as I can. And I just went through it and I said, I'm sorry that my light is doing this. Please understand that this has never happened to me before. And there'll possibly be the worst time to happen, but let's go with it. And I promise you the photos will be worth it. Yeah, so I think in that case, it's just super important to, even though the client knows that there's something going wrong, as long as you give them your word that it's going to be all right and that you are not super stressed about the situation, they can still relax and trust that the shoot's going to work out.
I agree with you. I think it's all in communication. And then sometimes you're lucky to get a client with understanding, and then sometimes you get a client with not understanding.
I mean, this last week, I rocked up to a shoot and I put my battery on charge for my camera. And I got to the shoot, I put my battery on the camera and it was on 1%. And it was on location as well, about 30 minutes away from my studio.
You didn't plug the power of the
I don't know what happened. To this day, I don't know what happened. So I said to the client, right, my camera can charge with the normal cable. We found a cable. And I'm like, and then the guy whose house I was at, he had a power bank, but it was flat as well. So I'm like, listen, and it was natural light. We shooting natural light, so it wasn't. And also, I forgot the diffuser that I wanted to use for artificial light. So I'm like, I needed to shoot before the sun went down.
Yeah.
So fortunately enough, it turned out the model had a power bank, and I just shot with my camera connected to a power bank for the whole shoot, and basically turned off the camera like every opportunity I got to make sure that 1% stayed there, and it worked out.
Yeah. I think that's one advice we're gonna put out for everybody, because like that's the reason I have my power bank right there. Yeah. It's 30,000 milliamps, and it's got everything, USB-C, iPhone, everything. So when I still use my Fuji, literally I just plug that in straight in.
Exactly.
And it does everything.
It's always good to have a backup.
Yeah. And I think it's also saved me, because I didn't know that when you shoot in Tetra as well, sometimes your laptop just charge your battery. I didn't know that, because I think there was a time I was shooting and my battery was low and I was paranoid the whole time. But like the bar isn't going down. You know what I mean? So it stays there like, what's happening here? This is like a miracle or something. Yeah. So like the power back this definitely does help.
That and communicating with your clients. I mean, if I hadn't communicated with her, although she was paying me and she, you expect to have your photographer have everything in order. If I hadn't said to her like, listen, my battery's not going to be working for the first 20 minutes, she wouldn't have told me that there was no power bank. You can either lie and be like, no, let's try your outfits on and try and make it work, or just communicate, and you never know how the client's going to react to that.
And I agree with you. Like communication is key in everything for me personally. And like you said, like I feel like I've been blessed to have opportunity of working with clients who are like understanding into situations like that, like. Because otherwise, if everybody's panicking and stressed, it's just gonna end badly.
Yeah, regardless if you make mistakes, the shoot's not gonna be good.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, our next challenge is editing. Editing. I know for you, I'm sure you probably have a lot of story for me. When you're talking about dodge and burn, this is the definition of dodge and burn. And I think I remember you giving me the tips of the spray oil as well, like to making the skin shiny and stuff. So, because on my side, I'm actually going to use that as my challenge. So, I think one of my challenge was making a mistake of adding too much oil. That was because I got too excited. Because now there was so much oil and then there was so much reflection from the skin as well. It was kind of cool, but like we photographers, we criticize ourselves. We want everything to be like.
There's a time and a place for that.
Exactly. So now when it got to the editing, it became tricky for me because like now my whole body skin is like glossy, like
no definition left. Yeah,
there was no need to even do that.
Yeah,
it was just burning what I can, edit what I can, but I was able to manage and make it work. But like my client was just excited, like, yo, I've got this nice shiny body.
and then leave feeling nice and moisturized.
Exactly. So like I'm the one who is like thinking too much about the technicalities of it, but for my client it was like perfect. Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, it all comes down to like making your client happy. Yeah. So on your side, what has been your editing challenge so far?
Sure. I don't know, because for me, my editing challenges I actually enjoy. Like I like to challenge myself. I love to take like a bad photo and turn it into something that looks really artistic or something that's actually clean. So in terms of like bad experiences, I mean, in my field of work, often your worst nightmare is a bad spray tan. And I know a lot of people don't deal with spray tans, but I deal with them with every single shoot. And it's so easy for a spray tan to go wrong, or for a model to mess water on themselves and let the spray tan like create stripes, whatever the case might be. But yeah, I think editing out spray tans is possibly the hardest, and second hardest is probably giving people abs. Because I think there's a lot of times when people come to set and they have an expectation of, because of the people that I shoot, that they need to look the same. And when they're not in condition, they'll come there and think that they need the six-pack abs and all of that. And me being the nice guy that I am, I'm like,
let's do it.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a challenge. I need to get this person abs.
Yeah.
And and then it just comes down to dodging and burning and actually having the experience of competing myself and doing a lot of fitness photography. It gives you a good insight into how the physique should look and how your striations and your abs should look and where the shadows and where the highlights should go depending on what your lighting is. So that's probably my continuous challenge, is just learning the physique and learning with the dodging and burning where the lines go. And I think in the past few years I have grown in that regard more than anything else.
Yeah. And just like quickly, like especially in the part of the editing talking about right now, like, so like, cause I've seen spray tan artworks and stuff like that. Does it go up to the face or is just the body?
So it's a tough one, because you get people that are shooting specifically for the photo shoot. They will do a light coat on the face. I mean, everyone does a light coat on the face, but your skin on your face recycles a lot faster than the rest of your body. So if you do a competition and you shoot 2 days later, your face is going to be white compared to your body. But then the best way to resolve that is a good makeup artist, and that's why I'm very particular with who I work with.
Because my question was gonna be how you balance that skin tone.
So it's hard because with fitness, and let's look at men now, because they generally don't use a makeup artist. And with your light, you're always going to have more of a contrasty light, and it's closer to their forehead. And you need it continuous from top to bottom. For a physique, you want to showcase the whole thing. So generally what I'll do is, when I open camera raw, I'll use gradients to sort of that's where I start the whole process, a gradient just to lighten up the legs and therefore not lightening the face at the same time. And generally a gym floor or something like that is dark, so you don't really notice it on the background. You don't have a gradient in the background because the floor is dark, and then you'll have mirrors and stuff which are a bit lighter. And then what I'll do after that, once I've imported it, is do a dodge and burn. So more dodging on the bottom, more burning on the top, until I get an even, like using my eyes to get an even balance between between the two.
Oh, awesome, cool. That's some really sneaky trick for you guys. All right, cool. Moving to the last question. It has to do with the challenge of a client, like challenge with a client. So, like, I think another one of my clients' challenge was a photo shoot scheduled for 12 p.m. And first message came in, can we move it to 1? And then from 1, can we move it to 2? And I'm like, oh, cool, 2 is fine. Now I'm there on 2, and now I arrive at the location before my client, and then my client is arriving at 3. And then at the end of the day, the shoot is starting at 4. And the shoot still has to go on, and you still have to edit the photo that same day so that the photos can be ready the next day for the actual event that is happening. That is like, sometimes I wish I know how to get angry. I don't know how to get angry. And also you can't, it's something you also have to like control yourself to do in front of a client. You can't get angry.
No, you can't.
At a client, you have to be polite. But goodness me, like you're boiling on the inside, you're about to explode, but like there's no way to just express that.
I got you.
Yeah, so like what has been your challenge with
I think when it comes to clients, it's one client's good, one client's difficult, the other one is impossible. So you can't really, in these times with COVID and all that, you can't really pick and choose your clients. When it comes to portfolio shoots for me versus commercial clients, I do sort of pick and choose my clients because I know some people, I've shot with this person like 3 times and I know that they're going to be super easy to work with. They're there on this time and whatever, everything's sorted. And then another person, I might give them a chance and then be like, cool, never shooting that person again. Like the biggest issues that I get is one, like postponing shoots, whether it be by an hour or 2 or by a month or 2. You have, especially with commercial clients, you have the guys that book like a big shoot, which is going to be a full day shoot, and you sort of budget that into your month, and you expect, okay, I'm going to shoot at this time of the month, so I don't necessarily need to do too many other smaller shoots to make up that. And then a week before that comes and they're like, oh yeah, I don't think it's going to work out, so let's postpone it by a week, and then it turns into a month, and then you still need to balance between like, it's a potential client, but it's also like this person's wasting my time, and you need to sort of decide how much effort you give into that person. And normally at that point I stop giving as much effort and I give them shorter answers and I just get right to the point, and sort of it's a balance between not being angry with your client but also not being a pushover, because when it gets to the point of being a pushover, then that's when it's just going to keep going. And you got to use the thing like, if you want more of my time, you've got to pay me a deposit. And that's it. And the deposit is actually there to make sure we shoot on that day and it doesn't keep getting pushed out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just awesome. I think so. That actually, I'm gonna lead that to the next thing. So the next thing is to give a bit of a tip and advice to. So I think this one I want you to give it an advice to photographers on regards to dealing with clients who keep postponing, and like time is money. Time is money. And like I said, like someone like me, sometimes I get just like frustrated. I'm just like, sometimes I might get frustrated and just cancel the whole shoot. So like what advice would you give to photographers in regards to how to manage clients like that, not to lose them, but just to get like that kind of balance?
I got you. So it is definitely dependent on your relationship that you have with your client. And the one thing that I'll say is, you never want to cancel the shoot with a client. You never want to be in a position where you're not worth my time. I'm canceling a shoot. Please don't contact me again. I don't think that's a good business plan for anyone. But you do need to value your time, and you do need to communicate that with the client beforehand. So the best way to manage a situation like this, and I know we all get busy and it's hard to keep up, is to have an actual system in place when booking a shoot. So from the time you contact me, this is the amount of effort you're going to get out of me, and until you book your shoot and pay your deposit, you're not going to get anything more out of me. And that's to prevent it. But if we go past that point where you haven't been paid, it's a shoot that's, call it 30 grand, so it's a good amount of money, and you don't want to just let it slip through your fingers. So you need to give a little bit more to get a little bit more out of the shoot. in that situation, you need to consider that as a non-shoot. You need to consider that shoot's not going to happen, and you need to just take a step back, let the client sort out what they want. When they come to you, say we want to shoot this date, you're like, cool, I've booked this date. And then if they want, then you just leave it up to them. And if they postpone, you say, cool, I've postponed it to that date. But don't waste your time on those people, and don't put unnecessary effort. And then eventually they will come to you or they'll go away. But at the end of the day, it wasn't your decision for them to go away. It was on them. So it's just managing how much effort you put into those clients.
Oh, awesome. Yo, I definitely learned something there. Thanks so much for that. Really appreciate it. We're coming towards the end of the show now. So just quickly, I want you to share with the guys all your platform where everyone can find you. Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, OnlyFans, the whole shebang. Like also like including your new media company as well. So like just other platform. I'm gonna put it in the display later on as well. But just to share with the guys where they can find you.
Okay, so if you want to find me, my personal photography account is Sean Levitt photographer. And then that's where I showcase most of my fitness work. And then in terms of and that's Instagram, by the way. And then my media company, Juiced Media, you can find at Juiced Media, also on Instagram. And there we share more of our commercial work and stuff that isn't necessarily fitness related, although there is some fitness stuff. We try and showcase the stuff that's not fitness because I think my name carries the fitness. And then I want my company and my video to showcase more of the commercial side. So,
awesome.
And then Facebook, it's coming. We're working on it. It's part of the rebrand that's going to be happening next week. But you should be able to find us there as well under Juice Media.
That sounds awesome. Thanks so much for coming through today. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for that. And thanks so much, guys, for watching this episode as well. See you on the next one.